Let's quickly understand the project structure and folder structure that was created with the React app. So if you open this, you will see this node modules. Node modules keeps the all the JavaScript library, which is the npm library that we want to use in our project, and this comes from npm registry. So it goes here. Next thing is the public folder where we have all the public files. So fab icon, index.html, and the logo or the icon that you are seeing on the screen here, these kind of things. They exist here. So in the index.html, we can include scripts files wherever we want, and the other CSS files that we want to link, we can add here. After that, we have this SRC folder, which is the most important one. Here we keep our component JavaScript file, component test file, and component CSS file. We also by default get an index.css file and index.js file. The job of this index.js file is very important because this is the main file which gets loaded from the index.html. So index.html loads this index.js file, and then what happens is once the index.js file gets loaded, what it does is it takes this app component of React and puts it into an element with the ID of root. So where does it find the element with the ID of root? In the index.html, it finds the element with the ID of root here. So that's why when the application starts, it loads index.html, and then index.html loads index.js. Then it loads this app component into the root named element in the index.html, which is here. So what happens to when the app component loads? So it goes to the app.js file, and then it loads all the markup that you see here, which is nothing but the JSX, which is written here. It's basically a functional component. So inside the functional component, we basically return a piece of markup in some bracket, and this piece of markup is nothing but JSX, JavaScript XML. That's what we call it. So few points to note that always whatever you return from here, it should be wrapped inside a parent. So either a div or an just like this, a fragment like this. So it should be wrapped inside it. If you don't wrap, you will get this kind of error. So we should make sure that we always wrap the JSX that is being returned from here. Another important point to note is we should make sure that we do not use class, because class is a reserved keyword. So always use class name with N capital. So now if we want, we can also get rid of all this content that because this is not needed. We will make things clean and keep everything blank, and we will start from there. So I will also delete everything here, everything gone from here. Let's just write down hello world in an h3 tag. Yeah, and now let's try to start the server. And now I have stopped whatever was running on port 3000. So when now I will start the server, it will start on port 3000. Next thing is we if we look into other files, so here we will file an important file called package.json. This is the file where all our dependencies goes. Like React, we are using version 18, and React DOM is 18. Similarly, there are few other dependencies that we are using. And the commands that npm start, npm build, all this means this. So when we are running npm start, it is actually starting the React scripts start. So these are the commands here. If you want to define your custom commands, you can come here in package.json, write a command here and give the what it needs to do on the right side. So if we now go and check our application, it is now running on port 3000. That's great. And it says hello world, which is different from this one. So in this video, we are now understood how basically a project structure of a React project is organized, and then how the whole React application works in terms of file loading, and what does package.json has.